My name is Nomthunzi Jacobs and married Nonga. And I grew up in Langa. I was born in Langa and grew up between Langa and Gugulethu. I studied, first of all, having been all around, I would say South Africa, the Eastern Cape and Cape Town mainly, for study, for just trying to finish matric, came to UCT. So I did my junior degree there, which is BSc in chemistry, and then I also did an HDE, which is a higher diploma in education. I then worked in this community as a teacher, a science maths teacher, but I also did quite a bit with institutions, training trainers like teachers as well. But besides that, my main project was to come up with the project with Guga S'Thebe, as you see it today. There was just a field there, grass and everything, but it used to be a place where Langa would commune and have jazz artists playing, exhibiting their craft there. So there used to be gatherings once in a while where people would just picnic around and just listen to that. So because it had died over time, my idea was to resuscitate and have a home for all the arts and crafts that we have around Langa. We had a number or an evidence of a legacy that could be left in Langa, where we had artists, senior artists, family that are artists like the Ngokane brothers, like Victor Ntoni, Brenda. And I think for me the cry was that we were here, but we would not be able to listen to them unless we go outside this community and until we go and pay out, maybe it Baxter, Nikomalan then, which is now the Artscape. So for me, that was the main cry, to come up with a project called Guga S'Thebe. And also the arts and culture. The landscape was not understood at the time. School-wise, there wasn't anything like that academic, to be trained in music, to be trained in this. Fortunately then, the only way then was to go choral, be in a choir. If you're not in a choir, you could not exhibit any musical experience or tendency or gift. Because these were not in the curriculum, so people could not express, and therefore certain talents were not exhibited, and there was no space for it. There was nothing happening in the community that groomed that. For heritage was matter of capturing the legacy, the experience, the political journey we've come from to be where we are, and all these talents to be captured. The additional part was tourism, which is part of what I did in terms of educating this community and the importance of this community, that we have a history to write. We have a history that is already in the making, but we are sidelined in one way or other. And the intention for Langa was a migrant labor hostel, basically. So that was important for me to capture, to kind of put it out there, that it is clear where we're coming from, but we are a community that has grown, that is gifted, and that is talented, and where is that home that presented it. So that is why I came up with the design of Guga S'Thebe, from the concept, from fundraising, from design, to in terms of representation, be related to the story. This is pre-94. So by the time 94 came, we had already come up with a concept. We built it up. We tried to put it in platforms that could listen. There were battles of why would you want something like this? So these were histories that we want to written, we want to express on, and music was helping us express on. As much as there were those laws that prevented us to go maybe across the railway line to the other side or across these big national roads, but I don't think we've advanced very much in building those bridges. And I think for me, the worst human rights issue that is not addressed is an economic viability through being employed, that government is producing good enough work is respecting education. I think it's also another human right that we're not talking about, that we've fought to be educated as a black nation. It was used as a barrier for us for entry in business, in education, in any level. You are not educated enough. Now so many blacks have, and being educated as a black person is not a child's play. There's no money for it. It's never structured generationally where your grandfather worked so much for how many years, and therefore it's automatic that you be financially viable to do any education, like academic level, tertiary education. It's always figured out while you are at it, once you show interest. So there's no money really, because there's no generational accumulation of money. Remember, we were stripped out of what we had as wealth, as generational wealth. I believe that investors must invest to create and support young ones to be creators of employment, as well as to be skilled employees.